All right, see.
Hi, this is Paul Finkelstein with omgtalk.com, where I interview all kinds of small business owners around Southeast Florida and across the nation, perhaps the world. And I've had guests as far as Scotland, believe it or not. But today's guest does not have a Scottish accent. You'll find out for sure where she's from in just a few moments. We did meet quite a few years back. What was it, maybe 5 years ago? Maybe six? I don't know.
I
Time
don't know.
slipped away, but you've been over here probably at least once a year, maybe twice a year, fixing our computers at our house, whether it is a Mac or a PC or a tablet or a phone. Martha or a printer, we call Martha. She comes over and she just knows hardware pretty good. So, Martha Ruiz, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Now, did I say your name correctly?
Yes.
Excellent, perfect, good. You just
Don't worry. I don't mind about the R's anymore.
Oh, okay, good, excellent. So I'm going to give you a tongue twister of a first question. They're all four open-ended questions, but you can pivot and talk about you and your business so people and my listeners can learn all about you. This next question, if you ever heard of the musical group called The Police, it's like way back.
Yes,
It was a
absolutely.
group. So it has so many do's in it that somebody accused me of imitating a police song. And that's, how long are you doing what you're doing? What is it you're doing? Where do you do it? Why do you do it? And when do you do it? So basically, how long are you doing what you're doing and what do you do?
I done this since I graduated from school, and that was long way back. It's been more than 30 years or so. I went to school here in the States, and therefore I stay, but I travel a lot. So I gone to South America, to Central America, and wherever I've been, I always been in computer business because this is the thing that I like to do.
And I can tell you like to do it because when you come to our house and you take apart the computer,
Oh, I
it's
enjoy
like
it.
the
I
mechanic.
enjoy every problem is a different scene, and it's not a cookie sheet that I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, because everybody wants to do it in a different way, and it's fine. That's what it's all about. You want your equipment, you want your devices to work for you. You don't buy equipment to set your business to that other company, whoever you buying your equipment for. You want to use your things the way you need it. So that's what we try to get all the time, every time.
Excellent. Now, let's share with us one success story, I guess, beside me, one success story that you're really super proud of, whether it's personal or business, or your kids or your business, one success story that you'd like to share with the audience.
Well, I have many, but many among one of the really ones is I tend to help mostly a small business, startups, people like you and me who do not have an IT person, and so many times I talk to people and they say, oh, but I want to do this. However, when I have money, I'm going to buy this and I'm going to buy that, and that is going to work out perfect. So I say, okay, where is it that you want to go? Okay, I need a system that do this, and say, okay, why don't we start with an Excel, for example? And so we open up the cell and I show them do 2, 3 things that they can do easily on the cell. Say, oh, but that, I don't need a system for that. I can use this Excel, and this spreadsheet is going to help me to keep track of this and that, and say, yeah, that's all what you need. Or many times they say, oh, I need to buy a printer that is such and such. I say, okay, listen, you can go with this little one. How about we look up a few models and what is available right there. And then once they bring it in, I say, well, this is how you use this and this is how you use that. And you can print it from anywhere in the house. And really, I can do that? Yes, you can. That's what we have an internet this way. This is what we have a network nowadays. So yes, it is very easy. Solutions are easy because technology has gone it's crazily easy to use because they are oriented for people, real people, not for companies anymore. And we need to embrace those things to make our life easy to run. Many times I'm juggling with schedules and calendars. And one thing that I'm trying to put up is just that I sometimes don't have enough time to do it is the Google Calendar. If I can put up my Google Calendar up there, you can see when I'm available. So you can book up whenever you need me, because that is one thing that we always had issues. When can I go? Can I go now? So if you can see it, and I can see it anywhere, and it's beeping me constantly of what I need to do, reminding me what I need to do, no matter what, I can do what we're doing. I can do it from here or from the street, or if I'm living from one place to another. It's in a 5-minute conversation. You don't have to, I don't have to be there anymore. I really can talk to you and tell you, listen, all what you had to do is this: allow me to see you in your desk, and you use the team viewer or Google desk remote or whatever it is.
Even the
And
Zoom
it's like if
platform, even the Zoom platform, I could share a screen with you
even,
too.
yes, exactly. Although I like to see when you are using your computer, so that I can tell you, you know, if you do this or that, it go faster that way or the other. And it's little hints, but it really helps people how to go faster with their work, how to get easily or remember things easily. The one advantage I have on in my career is I started when we had punch holes in the cars. So I got a long way, and I can see how people have been adjusting to all the new technology. And I can relate it because, yes, I done to myself the same. I deal with my 16-year-old who believes the world in a different way. So it's a different mindset, but listen, that allows me to understand where things are coming from and how can I explain it to you so that you can see it. I no longer use technical technology. I hate that. I don't like abbreviations. I don't like any of those because they are too confusing sometimes. Look, you can see I have a language problem. So on top of that, if you're giving me abbreviations, I don't know what we're going to be talking anymore about it. So I'd rather keep it the most simple I can. And that is one of the advantages that I always find on this business.
When you said punch cards, I understood you 100%. No, I wasn't old enough to use them. Uh, I won't accuse you of being older than me, but
Don't worry. I am all right. I don't look that old, but I am all right.
you
And I like it.
responsible? Were you responsible to help the astronauts land on the moon with the punch card computer?
Oh my God. With ribbons and it used to be a mess. It used to be a mess. It really was. There are a lot of fun things that we can remember about it. There used to be humongous computers. When I first started this, personal computers was nothing about person. You had to go to a lab where there was a bunch of computers and try to find solutions to those things were really wild. I mean, it was a completely different thing. It was nothing to do what we are seeing. These things over here are computers, very sophisticated, has nothing to do from where I started it. But it does give me the background to understand how everything is done.
Now, the next question is a two-part question, and it's
Yes.
kind of loaded up like a well-powered weapon. This is real loaded question, and that's what really motivates you. You told us a bit about it, but what really motivates you to do what you do, and when did you get passionate about? Which you probably also answered again, but maybe we'll reframe it, retell us in a different way. What motivates you to do what you do, and why? When did you get passionate about this? At a very young age, like your son's age, or late?
Well, when I started computers, I never seen one before, to be honest, because that's how it was. When I was about 17, for personal situations, I had to leave my country. And I knew I had to study out the country because in my country, we were having a lot of issues, war, and things like that. So when it was the time, I was crazy because I finished school and I came here for a change student for about 6, 8 months. And to learn the language, I wasn't taught English at school. We learned French and I spoke very good French, but I had no idea, no clue on English language. So after 8 months, of course, I got along and I was ready to go to school. So I was, what am I going to study? What am I going to study? What am I going to, I mean, there are so many choices. What am I going to do with my life? My father was a lawyer, so, but lawyer was the last, law was the last thing I was thinking because I have a very short-term memory. So one day I was talking to my mom, I said, Mom, you are very wise. What do you see me doing in the rest of my life? So she said, listen, I had no clue anymore what you want to do because I no longer know you. But one thing I can tell you, computers are the best thing. I don't know that about it because I never seen one, neither have you. But why don't you go study that? You are very curious. Why don't you go and study that? So I said, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. So I went to school. I went for computers. And sure enough, curiosity has made me go long ways because one thing that drives me is curiosity. I love to solve puzzles. And this is a puzzle every day.
I'm not speechless. I'm just soaking in all the information you told me. I also just found out that I no longer have to worry about learning Spanish because now you actually know French.
I haven't spoken for, and my son is learning French at school now. So that since I graduated, it's been like, I don't know, 20 years, 30 years ago. I don't know, more than that. I haven't practiced it anymore. So I'm starting to practice it again because I just put it away.
So if you want me to get hard drives and you want me to get 5 hard drives, if I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you know I
You
need
got it.
about 11 hard drives?
Yes. Oui, monsieur. Oui, monsieur.
If I have no idea how my computer works, I can say je ne sais pas. I mean, je ne sais pas means I
Je
don't
ne sais
know.
pas. I don't know. Yes, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I don't know. I
I
don't
don't know
know.
how my computer works. Je ne sais pas. Oui. No. No, the
Oui,
funny thing
monsieur.
is, my French teacher from over, 3 decades ago, I found is living in Boynton Beach, Florida. My French
Oh,
teacher, and
imagine that.
my high school, they made me take French for like at least probably 8 years, from like 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade,
Okay.
10th grade, I think 11th grade.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Well,
the reason I
I'm in the
remember
process of, right now I'm in the process of learning Portuguese because I have a Portuguese clientele that is growing very, very fast. I know Spanish and Portuguese are very similar. The problem is that when you are talking business, you need to understand 100%. And I'm having a lot of difficulties in there. So I'm learning Portuguese right now, but very quick because like a crash course because I really, really need it. That community is growing very fast and I'm
there's
working on that.
two Portuguese communities. I have a friend, he's older friend, and he is in a Portuguese small business association with a lot of Portuguese in it.
Right.
And also, there's a Toastmaster club that's the first United States, maybe, or Florida Portuguese
Mm-hmm.
Toastmaster club, but they only do their speeches in Portuguese.
In Portuguese. Yeah, I know. They're a very close community.
You might
That's what
want
I
to go to
noticed, that I learned that.
that club. Maybe.
Yeah, well, still learning the process of learning, but my tryouts every time I have to go to my clients because that is the evaluation right there. If
But the
they can
bottom line,
understand me, we're doing it.
I know you're rushed for time. You got computers to save the world. We're going to need it during the pandemic. What's the best way if somebody has a computer problem? I just helped somebody. They didn't know how to use Zoom and they didn't have a microphone attached to their 15-year-old Dell computer. And I sent them to Amazon and get a $50 Logitech camera.
Right,
Plugged it in,
right.
walked them through, and they didn't need your services for that. I was able to plug them in. And thank God when I'm waiting after they turned on their 15-year Dell computer, I waited and waited and waited and waited. In about 10 minutes, it finally booted up. I was like, yeah.
Oh, God.
And then I
Yeah.
saw his picture, like you came on this Zoom meeting, and I'm like, thank God that I don't have to do my backup, which is to send you there. Of course, it would have been nice. You can make the big bucks. but at the same time, maybe tell people your phone number twice if you want, or business number, or email address, or website that you, or look you up
Sure.
on LinkedIn, how people can get a hold of you.
Yes, you can find me. My cell phone number is 561-289-2673. 561-289-2673. And I'm on Facebook as Martha. What is it? What is it, Paul? I forgot now. Martha Tesh. Martha Tesh. Yes.
I'm looking.
And what else? And LinkedIn is the same because they are
Martha
linked.
Ruiz Tech Support.
No, Martha without the rules. Martha Tech Support. I left it out the last name because it's too complicated.
Oh, okay.
Martha Tech Support.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Got it. Martha Tech Support. Okay.
Yes, yes. That way you don't have to deal with the last names and things. It's too confusing. Martha Tech Support is good enough. You find me anywhere. My cell phone is there. What else?
Everything actually.
Through the Facebook is the easiest way, I think, because I know phone numbers are difficult to remember, but any way I can help.
Anything last minute that maybe you were just working on something that you want to warn the computer users out there, that is an important message you want to get out right now?
Wow, I got a few messages right now, honestly, and you know that I'm always bugging people about security is backup. Always have a backup of whatever you have. Keep a backup or whatever your precious pictures you don't want to lose them. Please make a backup. Backups are hard drives that are very cheap. Is no way for not having a copy of whatever is valuable to you. One thing. Secondly, we're South Floridians. We are ready for thunders and lightning. I'm having a lot of work because of that. I keep telling people UPS backup, just surge protector. It doesn't have to be even a UPS backup system, but at least a surge protector. Make sure that that thing is working. If you don't have one, if it's more than 5 years, go buy yourself one. As you said before, technology has come down on prices. Get one because if you care about your computer, please protect it. That's as easy as that.
Thank you. I think that'll wrap up. Let me just do a little wrap up so people know what they've been listening to. If they're just tuning in now on our Facebook Live, and I'll put this up on Apple Podcast. If you have an Apple or if you have an iPad or your customers have it, you could tell them they can listen to this interview on Apple Podcast and search for it by OMG Talk, or sometimes on iHeart Radio app. On that particular app, they have to actually search for it by Small Business Owner Podcast to find it.
Okay.
I switched it around, and hopefully the RSS feed picks it up by the next 24-hour period when it goes over from SoundCloud over to Apple, that the OMG will come first before the Small Business Owner Podcast in the name, so it can come up quickly. There's an awful lot of OMGs out there for podcasts, but this one should
wow.
Because I have 80 interviews I've done in the past year, and we'll start doing these. If somebody else wants to do more interviews for their company, after June 30, we're having a special, and that's instead of somebody investing maybe thousands of dollars, they could invest $297 to have an interview for their company on omgtalk.com and put them up on 5 podcast platforms or apps. Just as a recap, we've had Martha Tech Support here, and she told us how long she's doing what she's doing, when she's doing it, how she's doing it. She told us one thing that she's really super proud of, a success story. She told us what motivates her to do what she does and when she got passionate about it. I hope that this interview gave her some English speaking practice by hearing me talk a mile a minute like I never do ever, but maybe on a podcast you talk a little faster perhaps to make it sound more enthusiastic instead of just a boring podcast like some of the others. And she told us the best way to reach out to her. She gave us her phone number. Her phone number is in this, so rewind and listen for her phone number. Or she didn't give us a website, but you could look for her up on Facebook at Martha Tech Support. And I think maybe in the entire country, there's no other Mark Tech Support, we hope, right?
No, I think it's the only one so far. That's what I left out, the last names.
Thanks so much for joining us, Martha. It's really great to have you. Any parting wishes, or I'll disconnect the Facebook Live in just a couple of seconds.
All right. Thank you so much for everything.
Thank you.